Hello, hello, hello. It must be Tuesday night, for I'm here. And you might be there. You might be. You might not be, because 'tis early, tisn't it? Andrew's in. He's in Essex, apparently. God, blimey. Good is it? And Renee's in. The waterman from Groningen is here, indeed, indeed. So at least two people are present. Yep, two people are in. That's good. Coming on strong, and I'm early. That's because I went out a bit earlier. You know, it's thought, I'm gonna go out, get the dog walk out the way. But here we are. Bit cold out though. Brr. Cold out there tonight. Brr and brr and brr. Brr. Or hot beverage. Oh, blimey. And Andrew's saying, evening to Renee. It's all kicking off. It's all kicking off, isn't it? And tonight we're holding a special feature where we're going to ask people how and where Greg Wallace has offended or touched you. This is a special hotline for anyone who's been, had a funny look from Greg Wallace or may have overheard some jovial banter. If you've been affected, please feel free to share your upset here on this live stream. For that seems to be the topic. That's it. You can't get away from it. It's over. It really is. It's all everywhere. And Andrew says, I've been up to London today to National Gallery to see Constable. And he said, let's be having you. Hello, hello, hello. What's all this then? And Rennie says, cold air. Yeah, he's brr. It's very brr, isn't it? I don't know. I'm not a big fan of this cold. It's not nice. There's no need for it. There really is. There's no need for this winter malarkey, is there? There really is no need for it. We've got to wait for spring to come around again, which would be nice. So what do you want to talk about? Anyone got any topics? Because, otherwise I'm just going to have to start dribbling to myself. Dribbling. Well, I could start dribbling, couldn't I? Should we do it? Anyone? You got any ideas? Anyone? Has anyone got any ideas? Andrew says London looked beautiful with all the Christmas lights. Yeah, you won't get me going there. I'm done with London. Too old for that nonsense. I'll probably put the Christmas light. We do Christmas. I'll do it. Okay. Let's do this. Let's do this. Yeah, hey. You're gonna have to wait for the hat because the hat's in storage, I'm afraid. Yeah, the Santa hat is somewhere. I can't remember where I put it. It's out there somewhere. But we can do. I've just got to get to me bells. I said bells. Is that Santa flying overhead? See, look, what a collection! I have bells, screwdriver, and cuddly toy. That's my personality in 3 items, isn't it? Just who knows what lurks? Oh, my other one's fell out. Oh dear. Just to remind me. It's always handy, when you feel like you're failing. Oh, these ones fell on the floor. Different pitch. Listen. Very useful, that. Get a lovely stereo separation. It just makes you want to... Oh, God, more stuff's falling out the box. Everything's falling on the floor. Makes you want to record a Christmas song, doesn't it? But I won't be doing that this year, not after last year's debacle. Renee says, have you seen Anderson's video about the OPXY? The OPXY is teenage engineering's latest ruse to extract, how much was it? £2,500 out of you for an item that you can do with a fucking iPad or a mobile phone for nothing. Yeah, a case of I saw you coming. I'm sorry. I just don't. I don't get it. I've been tempted to get one. Not that one. The OP one, isn't it? The OP one. I've been tempted to like maybe try and pick one up, maybe used or just to see what all the buzz is about. But then my brain goes, Darren, don't be stupid. This stuff is just just so crazily expensive. Don't do it, son. Don't do it. You'll regret it. You'll regret it, So yeah. Dog cam, no, she's not here. She's elsewhere. But we do have backup dog cam for those of you who need backup dog cam. There we go. Different angle. Hello. Da, 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 da. So there you go. Oh, we also have rabbit cam because we got rabbit cam. There's also Yoshi dangling there as well. I'll have to turn Yoshi around now. You can't see him. Yeah. Of course, we have brown bear cam as well. And who could forget PG Christmas monkey cam? I want to know where my other monkey went. I had two of these. I had a regular monkey as well. But I just can't remember where it all went. Where did it all go? I don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. It is sweet, isn't it? It's very quiet tonight. I think everyone's writing their Christmas lists to Father Christmas. Dear Santa, I would like the latest Stephen Wilson box set, please. You're getting a piece of coal. You're getting a piece of coal, my friend. Piece of coal. So yeah. Come on, guys. Come on. Give me something to work with here. Otherwise, I'm going to have to start going on about Roger Waters. And nobody wants that to happen. Do they? Nobody wants that to happen. That's not cool. That's not cool, Daddy-O. We don't want no Roger Waters talk on here. Or maybe you do. I don't know. Mate, I'd have to take the tinsel off though if that happens. I've got to have the date and the time. Whoops. £2,500. Yeah. I wonder why it's so expensive. Development, says Renee. Well, I think again with teenage engineering, I think the stuff they bring out is highly engineered, obviously, and I think it is such a niche product, and I think the expense kind of reflects the market, because not many people are going to buy it. It's I find it kind of counterintuitive, really, because if you brought something out that was really innovative and really amazing, by excluding the majority of your user base, it's like those people that buy Moog synthesizers, and it'll always be Moog until cows go moo. It'll always be Moog, all right. It's like those people that buy those synthesizers and look at my gear. It's all a willy waving exercise, isn't it? Really. So again, I'm loath to buy electronica because electronics go wrong. Guitars, if they go wrong, I can usually fix them with a soldering iron unless something really bad happens to them. So I'm a bit skeptical, and I've kind of got, because of the plugins thing. Sorry, good little wheeze. That's the cold air. Little wheeze. Because of the plugins, and plugins being so so damn good. I kind of find there's nothing electronic that really makes me go, oh, I must have one of those. There's nothing that's really, really turned my head in years. You just think, well, I can do that. I mean, take any of those kind of beat generation things. If you want to do that, there's Cool Gadget. You can get that on the iPad. I mean, I also got the software version. And sometimes, if I want to do beats and stuff, I fire up Cool Gadget and I do beats on that and import them into Logic. It's that. I mean, the only thing that's ever kind of like made me curious is the old Ableton Push standalone thing. That's kind of made me go, oh, that's interesting. But again, you've got to be into the Ableton Live ecosystem, and I've tried, but I just can't work like that. I work like I'm more like a I like tape recorders, if you know what I mean, or looping pedals. And I should really get my head around it, but every time I go to it, no music comes out of it that I'm satisfied with. It always sounds like what everybody else is doing. It just doesn't feel like me, my way of doing things. So, but the idea of the Ableton Push is curious because it's hardware that you can use separately from the computer, but you can also use it wirelessly and use it as a controller. So it's like it kind of like does everything. That's curious, but again, that's quite expensive, and I'm not going to buy it because it's out of my range. So yeah, I'm kind of left a little bit. I do think sometimes the less you have, the more productive, the more innovative you are, because you work around the limitations, and I think that's useful sometimes. If if you have all the toys, you end up getting carried away by playing with all the toys rather than actually getting anything done. Whereas, okay, I've got all these guitars, but it's really just to annoy people. Just, I'm just trolling. Don't need them all. I could probably limit it to at least, I don't know, 25, maybe 25 if I sold a couple, or 10. I don't know how many I've got. I've lost count. But I don't need them all. But sometimes, again, as a player, it's nice to take your fingers exploring elsewhere. Now, I was faithful to one guitar for many years. The old Godin XTSA. I was faithful to that guitar for a long, long time. And now I like to play away. I like to, I like to dabble. I like to, have an open relationship with the fretboard, as it were. But yeah, again, the OPXY, I think the problem with a lot of these things is you just end up making the music that everybody else is making. And this is the problem with, as I've said, with the chart stuff. If you listen to what's in the chart, a lot of that, the sound and the way the deck is constructed, it relies on Ikai. I always get that. Yeah, it is Ikai, isn't it? Yeah, not IK. IK and IK, they're two different companies. Ikai MPC, that range comes out of that, and it comes out of Ableton, and a little to a lesser extent the Machina thing from Native Instruments. And these people tend to use the same processes, and that's why everything has a very familiar feel and sound to it. Because if you're going to do something different, old whatever, and like I say, if you're going to play a plugin, use your favorite. I mean, I'm going to say use Pigments. I think Pigments is probably one of the best all-round cheap plugins. Again, it is cheap if they've got it on offer, but if it isn't, then it isn't. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. But you can often get it on discount, and I think that's really versatile software plugin synth. Get that, put it through some software FX plugins, and alter the sound completely, and you can come up with your own sound of your own. Again, if you are using Logic, crikey, you can even sample yourself, make your own noises and create sound palettes using your own grunts and moans, and stretching them and twisting them. There is no end to what you can do. This is the beauty of all this technology. But again, when you've got everything, you end up creating nothing. And these songs that you hear, the chart songs, have a very limited palette. And I find that really bizarre because, in your oldie days, a riff on a bloody banjo or ukulele would be the basis of a song, would be the basis of a hit song, or a trumpet or something. So we've moved away from finding the hook and building the song around the hook to the technology providing the hook. And I don't think that's very useful because you can hear that with a lot of these things. Andrew says Beatles new thing. I haven't watched it yet. I haven't watched it because I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here's on, and it's just interfering with everything. It's getting in the way of everything, my friend. Everything. I mean, I managed to squeeze in one episode of June Prophecy. I don't know if it's any good. I can't tell. It's too early. But I managed to squeeze one of those in, despite that starting last week. But it's only 6 episodes of that. But I will get round to it, because we have the Disney Plus. It's like Skeleton Crew started. Who's going to watch that? But very woke. I believe it's very, very woke, but then it would be. But I will get around to watching it. Apparently, the Beatles are an up-and-coming band, so you've got to keep an eye out for them. Payne's in. He said, "Good evening. Good evening, Mr. Payne." Jersey's in. He says, "The benefit of not having to put my Xmas tree away properly last year is it'll be much easier for me to get all 18 foot of it." Or is it 18 inches? 18 inches. I thought he said foot. Out again. Give it 3 weeks. Yeah, well, I'm going to send the missus up into the loft on Friday. Friday feels like a good day. I'm going to send her up there with a big stick. I'm going to go, get up there. Get up in that loft. And then she throws everything down at me like that, and I have to catch it. It's like a video game. I have to catch the bits. Oh, me baubles. It's because I've hit myself in with the stick, you see. And she says, the remix 16. I guess so. Yeah, sure. Why not? Any more for any more? Or otherwise I'll just ramble on about technology. Only 16 people in tonight. And I said, I think everybody is busy warming their nuts by the fire and writing their letters to Father Progmus. Possibly. Who knows? Maybe not. I don't know. I mean, we've been on 15 minutes. It hasn't warmed up yet, has it? It hasn't really warmed up. At this rate, I'm going to have to do some shameless promotion. And you don't want that to happen. Andrew says, Shell sounds I love. Okay. I don't know what he's talking about. Oh. Payne says, I'll be there in a minute. Just had a bath. Well, dry yourself off. Don't use any talcum powder, though, because that's carcinogenic now. And that worries me, because I remember as a kid, just going crazy with the talcum powder. I think I had brute talcum powder, I believe. I splashed it all over, indeed. But not that. Oh, not that. But yeah, talcum powder. Do you remember when talcum powder was all I used to use it to dry off? But now, it causes cancer. It's like, oh, great. Thanks, everyone. It's like, oh, God. Is there nothing in this world that doesn't give you cancer? I don't know. Ronnie says, we have Santa Claus this Thursday. Presents. I hate Santa Claus. Santa Claus sounds remarkably like Santa Claus. Is that Timu Santa Claus? Or is it Santa Claus is who we base our Santa Claus on? So you have it early then, don't you? So you have it earlier in the year. Interesting. So you have it on Thursday the 5th. Interesting. And are you getting an OPXY from Santa Claus? Be good if you did, wouldn't it? That'd be good. You'll have to buy one, Renee, and tell me all about it. Oh dear. And for those, there we are talking. We better tell everyone what this thing is, because we're talking about this little synthesizer doobie. And oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, Renee. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I have some news about the OPXY. They've already dropped the price. There you go. Look, they've dropped the price to $18.99. So that's nearly, was it? It's nearly a £700 saving, isn't it? So there you go. Shall I pre-order one? Shall I? Has anyone else got one? Has anyone got any in stock? Oh. Reserve stock expected the 6th of December. I could get one, couldn't I? Imagine that. Ooh. Have they got it on the website? Yes, they have. Oh, it says here it's ready to ship. Look, they've actually got. I thought it was £2.5 grand, but obviously they've cut the price because when this was originally announced, I'm sure someone said it was £2,500. And this is for those of you who aren't in the know, that little gizmo is like a built-in synthesizer sequencer, like a tape recorder. So it's like a tape recorder, and you can, record beats. Drum. It's like a drum machine and a synthesizer, all in one. It's a music production device which allows you to, but it's not a real keyboard. Again, that's another thing. It's got a clicky clacky kind of interface, whereas I like a proper, proper keyboard, isn't it? I like prop keyboard. So that always puts me off, that it's a bit clicky clacky. And Robert says, I see those ads where some kid is dragging and dropping chord sequences and he thinks he's making banging music. That's what I've been doing all these years. Been hitting you with my block rocking beats, I believe. Hey, who knows what goes on? If only I could have half the success of that kid who's dragging and dropping chord sequences. It's how they teach them at school. My son does music production, and they use Logic Pro, and they use a lot of the again. Logic Pro is a DAW, digital audio workstation. Basically, it's like a massive, multi-track tape recorder, but you can do MIDI and whatnot. Again, for those who don't know, they have to explain things. And what they do is there's a lot of like Apple loops that come with it that are royalty free, and they just drag the loops in. It shows them a rudimentary way of how they put music together, but that's their experience of the first experience of making music. So I think, again, for a whole generation of kids, that's their introduction. I think all music is block based, and you just drag blocks in. And heaven forfend that they should actually sit down and think, oh, what if I just do this, and break out of the grid, as it were. I miss not working to a grid, but the thing about Logic is they have this thing, this drummer plugin, which is just, it's just, I love it. It's just great, and it's even better now because you can actually alter the patterns and make it your own. But it's kind of like this virtual drummer thing, so you can drag bits in and alter it and change the rhythm, and then I drag my own drums in and everything to make it sound even better. And then I add drums, I add bits of percussion to it and things to make it a bit more human, and that's how I get my sound, and I play to that. So you don't need to have a drum machine anymore. But yeah, the old days of sitting down at a drum machine, finger drumming, trying to come up with something, and then recording that into your computer or onto your 4-track. My 4-track, my Vestax MR44, and then coming across, doing building things up. It was that's how I learned my thing. But again, if I'd had all the technology that they have now, then God, it would have been, what I did then would have sounded so much better. Because I've been delving into the archive. Oh dear, that's not good. And I made dubs of all my 4-track tapes that I did from the early days, from like 92 onwards, because that's what I spent my grant on. I spent my grant on a 4-track recorder. Books? I don't need books. I'll just buy a 4-track, and so I learned everything by recording it. And so everything I've ever done has been recorded, and I kept all the recordings. So there's literally thousands of hours of me plinking and plonking around, and some of it's usable and a lot of it isn't, especially the early days when I'm literally learning to play and learning how to interact with myself. See, notice I said interact with myself rather than play with myself, because you say, Darren, you play with yourself all the time, you wank. Deregulated now. I've been deconstructed thanks to YouTube. But it's amazing what they can do. I'm just glad Herb's, got an interest in it. We pay we pay for him to have music lessons. It's like, Jesus Christ. You have to pay for it now. You have to pay for everything. You have to pay for everything at school. Very expensive. Renee says, I think the OPXY is sold out already. Yep, but you can pre-order it, and I reckon there's another delivery coming in early December. So if you want one, God, if only I had that kind of money. See, if I was going to spend that kind of money, I'd buy a guitar. Especially if it was like a Gibson. I could buy a Gibson and keep it, and it might even appreciate over time, Whereas that, you buy it, it's like buying a new car. You buy it, as soon as you leave the showroom, it's half its price. I find it very hard to spend that kind of money on that kind of technology. It's like, I wish I could. Andrew says, the Chemical Brothers, indeed. Payne says, I suppose it gets them to understand what chord types sound like together. Yeah, again, they look at a different genre of music, and they did minimalism the other day. And I said, oh, minimalism. And then Herb said, yeah, they mentioned lemon jelly. And I went, really? That's really interesting. He went, yeah, I got really excited because I know lemon jelly. And because when he was little, I used to put on they've got a DVD, what was it called? 64 to 95, I think it's called. It was their last album. And they did a video, like a DVD album version. And when he was little, I put that on, and he just used to sit there and be gobsmacked by it, because it was like just lots of lights and animations and things. He used to really, really dig it. So I used to put that on for him, so he knows lemon jelly. But yeah, he was really surprised. They played Elements, and he went, yeah, I know that. He was sitting there. I said, did you tell the teacher? He went, no. I said, you should have told the teacher. They'd have been really impressed. You could have said, my dad's an old fart. He's got the album, the vinyl, the actual vinyl. And, if you say what's the rarest item in your collection, I go, lemon jelly, the second album. Lost Horizons. It's a shame I didn't get the first album on vinyl, but it was never around. I never found it. But I can remember distinctly buying it in Virgin Records, Virgin Megastore at Bluewater, turn of the millennia, whenever it came out, 2001. And it was in stock, and I think I paid less than 20 quid for it. It was like, oh yeah, great, a vinyl. Because in those days, they just had one rack of records. And it was like, there's a record, this is on, I had it on CD. I was like, they've got it on record, I'm going to buy this. And just a story. I'm wibbling on, sorry. Payne says, I saw that Band-Aid documentary again. It was interesting to hear the tape starting and stopping. Oh, right. Is that the one that's on YouTube at the moment? I haven't watched it. Again, the big debate is, Band-Aid, Africa, white saviour syndrome and all this. Now, again, because I'm an old-fashioned socialist, I believe that all charity is a failure of government, and really, by all means, be charitable, help people, help animals, but not necessarily give your money to organised charities, because I spend a lot of it on infrastructure, if you know what I mean. But I never bought into Live Aid or Band Aid. I never gave them a bean, because I was like 13 at the time, and it was either that or buy a Queen cassette, and I wasn't going to give them my money, so I never really bought into it. But I thought it was, again, when Live Aid happened, I thought that music could change the world. I really believed that. I thought this is going to change everything. It's going to make a difference. And then nothing happened, and it just carried on because of the corruption and everything that goes on with all of this stuff. And it was very saddening. It was very sad. But it was one moment that we could have got it right. I see that as a moment in the cultural consciousness where everyone was pulling in the right direction, and we could have made a difference. But that's when you know it's all corrupt, because, you know, the problem could have been solved several times over. And here we are, still giving to Live Aid or Band Aid or Comic Relief or whatnot. And the problem still isn't fixed. You know, I often joke that it would have been better if Bob Geldof had used the money, raised a militia and just taken over, you know, just gone in there and fixed the problem that way. But something about colonialism or something, you know. You know, when we run things, the trains ran on time. But this is the problem. When you're dealing with, you know, societies that are based on tribal and feudal, you know, organisms, you know, it's just, there's going to be lots of conflict, there's going to be lots of corruption. And that's a cultural thing, and you can't change that culture. It's going to take years for that culture to fix itself. And we can't get involved because it's problematic. You know, they did that with the, you know, with the missionaries, and look what happened to them. So, you know, I say let Africa solve its own problems now, because the message is that Africa isn't poor; it's very rich. Okay, well then let the rich Africans help the poor Africans, and we'll see how that works out for them. And maybe, you know, we should not give our money to charity, and the government should look after these problems, and, you know, with foreign aid and whatnot, and it should be dealt with that way. You'd see a lot less charity shops on the high street. Again, they only exist because they get a charitable you know, reduction on their rates and whatnot. And so without the charities, our high streets would truly be empty. Yeah, and you wouldn't be able to offload, you know, all those dirty mags that you've collected over the years. You know, just hide them between the hardback books. Just hand them in that way. Renee says, too expensive, the OPXY. For the price, you can get a second-hand car. Indeed. Payne says, a guitar stays a guitar, but tech gets out of date much sooner. Well, this is it. This is the problem. And again, tech goes wrong. You know, if something goes wrong with it, you're very much fucked, you know. And so again, because you can do so much, again, all you need, he says, reach input camera. All you need is a controller keyboard and a collection of Yoshis, but mainly a controller keyboard. But don't forget the Yoshis, and a good controller keyboard is all you need. And then with all the plugins that are out there, all the plugins that are very reasonable, you don't need all the electronic stuff. And if your computer goes wrong, you can get a new computer. It's really, really easy. Really easy. Isn't it? Really easy. There's the camera. Can you see the camera? Look. No. And there's my mashup of pop culture. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, very expensive, very expensive. And a guitar you can fix. You can fix it with a soldering iron, possibly. Chris is in. He says, Darren, is Santa going to bring you all those Penguin Cafe Orchestra reissues? I don't know if I want them. I've already got the albums on vinyl, like the EG, you know, versions from back in the day. And I'm a bit like, again, coloured vinyl. I don't know. If they weren't so expensive, and if there was like oh, what do you call it? I can't, my brain's not with me tonight, I'm sorry. Ah, dear. There was a bundle, that was the word I was looking for, bundle. You thought I was going to say something very complicated. No, the word bundle. If there was a bundle at a discount, yeah, I'd possibly be in. But it's also the 2007 remaster that was done by Jeff's Jr. himself. And I must admit, I wasn't too impressed with the CDs that came out from that period. I bought those thinking I was going to get some sort of great revelation, and I didn't really think much of them, and I preferred the original EG ones, which are on the shelf, probably are about there actually. Are they? Where are they? No, they're over there. There behind that shoulder. I always get the shoulders mixed up. That shoulder there. They're just there, hiding over there. So no, I mean it's nice what they're doing. I mean it's nice, but I don't know. What is it? They're $26.99 each, I think. Let's pull them up. Let's have a look. We can show them off. Penguin Cafe Orchestra vinyl. Dun, 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 dun. HMV have got them for 30 quid a pop. Oh Jesus, man! That's not expensive. Why are you so expensive? Ding ding ka ding, ding ding ka ding, ding ding ka ding. Do do do. Do 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 do. Do. Here we go. This is I'll make it smaller. I'll make it smaller. It's one of those rescalable ones. As you can see, they have them here. I mean, that one's interesting. The When in Rome one, because that is a restored version. You've got the whole gig, which was on the CD but wasn't on the vinyl. I think they dropped a few. Because back in day, EG Records often did that. They'd bring something out on CD. It happened with the Bill Bruford and John Wetton compilations. And then you'd buy the LP version and there'd be quite a sizable chunk of it missing. You know, they'd fill the CD, but the vinyl would still be stuck with vinyl constraints. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, 26 quid a pot. That's 22. Yeah, you're looking at about 170 quid. That's a lot of money, isn't it? Hey, if you want to have a whip round, guys, you know. How many people in? Let's see. Is it 16 in? Look, if you'll drop a tenner, I could get them. Ain't gonna happen. See, what you want to be, right, is you want to be one of those successful YouTubers, right, that doesn't need to ask his audience for money because the YouTube is paying, but still ask their YouTubers, they still ask their audience for money because they're still getting paid, but they can double up. They can go, oh, you know, if you want to help the cause, and then everyone, you notice they always give them loads of cash. But us poor shits at the other end of the scale, you know, with all the poor, something beeped over there, with all the poor cheapskate viewers with no money. What's going on? Something's beeping. Something's beeping over there. Need to check my phone. We get jack shit. We get jack shit. It's all right. I'm only joshing you. It's not a big deal. Again, you know, if they were 20 quid each, I just find everything so expensive. I really do. But then I broke my rule. I got that fragile record store day thing. I wasn't going to do it, but I found the cheapest one. And because there weren't that many of them around when I had a look. Again, for those of you who don't know, there was a black record store day. Does that sound right? Black Friday record store day. And the only thing that was of vague interest to prod people was the Yes Fragile remixes, Mr. Stephen Wilson, on the vinyls. And I saw a copy and it was relatively cheap. And so I got it for reference. I've got a few of those record store day things, not that many. Got a couple, I think. Can't remember now. No, I've got a couple. Yeah, I got the live one and then the other one, the dub, and then I got that. I haven't got all of them though. Just got a couple of them, the live ones. And see what it was like, you know. I don't know. I wasn't gonna do it, but then I did it. Shouldn't have done it. I'm trying to wean myself off. I'm trying to wean myself off. Andrew says, I'm still coming to terms with my new computer. Oh yeah, because yours went up the Swanee, didn't it? It was all that porn. That's what it was. All those pop-ups, wasn't it? Broke your computer. I'm joking. You should get a Mac. Remember, once you go Mac, you never go back. Renee says, do you know Tidal, Darren? Yes. It is better quality in the interface than Spotify, but the algorithm is bad. Or there is no algorithm. I'm sure that you can listen to a certain Mr. Darren Locke on Tidal. Can you? Let me have a look. Tidal. I don't go on there very often. Download title. You got to sign in. I should be on title, but I don't know. I don't know if I am. I can't browse title without like downloading app or whatnot. I don't know. I'm on Spotify. On Spotify. I wonder if those are eBay auctions ending. Something's beeping over there. Let me have a look. Let me have a look on. Oh, I am on Tidal. Oh, good. Excellent. I don't have a Tidal account. I barely have a Spotify account. I have one of those free Spotify accounts. Places Mac in Black. Isn't that by AC/DC? Why not? But when you get to a certain age, you just want things to work. I had 20 years of PCs, man and boy. I went, nope, 40. I'm defecting. I want an easy life. But yeah. Oh well, let's do the advert. Should we do the advert? Go on in. Let's do the advert. Let's do the ad. This is an ad. Today's podcast was brought to you by Darren Lark. It's me. And for those of you who are, I don't know, lacking something, you'll be happy to know. I mean, you'll pay out. You're lacking something. You'll be happy to know that there are 4, count them, 4. Oops, move that out of the way. My window looks. So if I do that, then you get infinite Darrens, and nobody wants infinite Darrens. There are now 4 editions of A History of Bleeping and Droning available to you from my Bandcamp page. Each one more bleepy and drony than the last. There's 4 hours of bleeping and droning for you. And but Darren, how much is this going to cost me? Because what I do has absolutely no value to anyone, right? Because I'm just a chancer, right? With no actual discernible talent. It's for you, for the magnificent price of 0. Yeah, 0. You can just download if you want. You might be asked for your social security number and your sort code. I don't know what they do. I just upload the shit, right? But it's 0, and you can pay anything if you want. You can throw a few groats into the hat, but you can have 4 hours of mind-numbing tedium for free. It's me getting my revenge on the world. Think of it like that. But if you do have money, you can buy them. You can buy them on streamings like the iTunes and the Spotify and the Tidal. And it's better quality on the Tidal, according to Rene. I don't know. And the YouTube Music and all those good places. You can actually do. Oh, you could stream them, and I'll get a magic penny if you do that. But yeah, it's all good stuff. I recommend Volume 3 because I actually listened to Volume 3 the other day. Yeah, and it's Volume 3 is very good because I don't actually listen. I don't listen to my music or that. I don't listen to music. I don't listen to any music at all. Whenever I pick up a CD, I just pretend I've heard it. I go, oh, what is this? What does this do? What the hell is that? You know, so I don't actually like music. And I've been getting my revenge on music fans for the last 30 odd years. You know, but to get me back on point, I actually listened to Volume 3 of History of Bleeping and Droning on the dog walk on Sunday. It was a bit drizzly, it was a bit cold, but yeah, I thought it was really interesting actually. I thought it was really good. And normally I'm very dismissive of this stuff because I just do it. You know, I see it more as a byproduct of what I do. You know, it's more of a thing that I do, and I don't really put much value on it. That's why it's zero. But I know some people do. Some people enjoy it, and that's really cool. That's the best thing. That's why it's good to give it away. If people really like it, give it to them for free. It's not about the money. It's about enjoyment. It's about discovery. I'm never going to be a millionaire like this, Darren. This is where you're going wrong. This is where you're going wrong. You want to do one of those videos like the other music people do, telling people how you can get 1 million streams on Spotify. This isn't the way of doing it, Darren. You're not going to get popular by giving it away. Well, doesn't matter. But I listened to it, and there were some bits on it. It was like, yeah, wow, this is really interesting. I don't even remember doing a lot of this stuff because it just comes from a place. You just fire up the things and you play, and I'm responding. It's a feedback loop. You respond. You play a note. You hear a sound. You're a timbre, and you respond to it. So there's this building, and you try and build things, and you try and avoid things, and you try and kind of paint. You know, that's a Ponzi way, isn't it? But you try and just avoid yourself. That's what I do. I try and avoid the notes, and then you end up building up these kind of very fragile bits of sound. And that's what amazed me, because it was like, wow, that's amazing. How did I do that? I don't know how I do it. I really don't. And that's the frightening part of it. It's like it's come from somewhere else. And I thought, oh, I think this is more valuable than I've given credence. All these years I've been doing this stuff, and I've been, oh, there you go, do it. You know, here it is. And I've never really put any value on it. And it's like, yeah, and now I give it away. But I was quite moved by it places, because it was like, what is this? I thought it was somebody else playing, and it felt like somebody else was there, an alien, you know, a foreigner, you know, inside me, and that was, I know, it's strange. Because I've never really sat and listened to it. Yeah, I put it together, and I think, oh, that sounds good, but I'm not listening to it, if you know what I mean. I'm hearing it. I'm trying to make something of it, and it's been very difficult. Well, it's very difficult because there's so much of it, but to actually create something that kind of fits together, because you've got all these pieces that are recorded on different times, and so I tend to bunch the stuff that's kind of close together, you know, because that's the area I'm in. You can't take something from 20 years ago and put it next to something that's now, because that'd be too disparate, because different equipment, different state of mind, different fingers, you know. So yeah, that's when I'm kind of hearing it, but I'm not listening to it. I'm not getting involved in it. It doesn't touch me, but it touched me. Ooh, where did it touch you? I'm not telling you. Show me on the doll. Where did it touch you? It touched me here, 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 but mainly there. That's where it touched me. So yeah, go and check them out. Absolutely free. But if you want to pay, you can pay, because I know times are hard. And the 4th edition is 2 hours of the generative music program that ran in 2020. I've still got the loops. I've still got the ability to generate, but I generated a couple of hours of that and put that out there as well for those of you who had an interest in that back in the day. It helped my daughter with her insomnia, because she was worrying about the vid, because that's when it was done. It was done in 2020 when we were all in lockdown, and I got a little Apple Mac, and I created a little music server, and I ran it overnight. You know, it ran for many, many hours. Nobody watched it. That's a real shame. Nobody got into it, but my daughter liked it, and it helped her with her insomnia. She liked the imagery, because I did all the visuals as well. That was something to occupy me during the lockdown. And but that's volume 4. You got 2 hours of the stuff, and you can just turn off your mind and drift away. And yeah, hopefully, if you are feeling a little bit tense, a little bit stressed, negative thoughts, put on this stuff, and I guarantee you'll be asleep in minutes. It's that good. That's good. So there you go. History of bleeping and droning. I've threatened it for nearly 20 years, and you can get 4 volumes of it. And yeah, don't worry, there's plenty more where that came from. There's plenty more where that came from, and I'll give you the links just in case. I'll give you the linky. Volume 1. Okay. Oh, okay. You don't want to type the link. Okay, that's cheeky. That's better. That's volume 1. 2. Sorry for the extended advert. I should have had all this. I should have had all this prepped, shouldn't I? In a notepad, and I could just cut and dropped it. But you know me, we improvise. We do this on the fly, a bit like the music itself, a bit like the noises that you hear. But yeah, enjoy. Go and have a listen for those of you who are out there, and tell all your friends, or not. You probably haven't got any friends. That's why you're here. Oh dear, that shtick never gets boring. Oops, I left it on that. Oh, how unprofessional. Robert says, I saw one, know why, mention how PCs tend to do that noisy cooling fan thing. Makes sense to use a Mac for recording. Yeah, well, again, if you're using a PC, they tend to have more fans than everything they can take off. And again, back in the day, I used to have a big tower, and that had many fans in it. Yeah, and it's there. And then when the crash happened, I moved over to a laptop, and I bought like a high-end laptop, and I was working on using that because I needed to be mobile. And then after that, I came to the Mac, and the good thing about the Macs, even though if they have got a fan, they are relatively quiet. I mean, I'm using the Mac Mini Pro, whatever it is. M4 Pro, M2 Pro, not M4. Mac Mini M2 Pro, M2 Pro, whatever it is. And it's silent. It makes no noise at all. And that's a good thing. That's a really good thing. So yeah, it is good to use them. Also, just using stuff like Logic Pro and Final Cut Pro. It's really good software. I think it's really good software. Again, many people will disagree. They will have their own favourites, and that's the thing, and that's not a problem. But I like with this, you can just turn it on and it's almost instant. A couple of seconds, you're straight in, working. Back in, not having to wait for things to boot up, for Windows to, defrag the hard drive. Does it still do that? So, yeah. Andrew says it's got GarageBand, indeed. And Renee says, I'm thinking of buying a good streaming player. Do you have any interest in a good streaming player? What, you mean like a hi-fi? Like hi-fi streaming? No, because what I do is I stream to the telly using my iPad or, on my mobile phone. You can just send it to the television and it comes out through my Wi-Fi speakers. So no, I have no interest in that. I used to, before there were streamers, I used to have like a little mini PC, Shuttle, XPC. Shuttle were a brand, and they used to specialise in doing very small PCs, and I tinkered around with that. This was, oh crikey, 20 years ago now. This must have been about 2020. I'm sorry, 2005. I'll get it right in a minute. And I used to, do streaming stuff via that. You know, you could do rudimentary that kind of stuff back in the day, but no. And again, and again, a lot of TVs have Spotify or whatever built in, so don't really need to do that. Just says 53 and got my first PC in over 20 years. Control Delete still works. It's a start. Yeah, I mean, I very occasionally use Windows because I use Parallels, which is like a virtual computer you can use within Mac. And I don't use it so much now because I've got a lot of the music that I had that was encoded to like Windows, the files. I've transferred them over to Mac now, so I don't really need to use it. But I still dip my foot in every so often. But it's not. It seems such a long time ago now. Renee says Tidal does not compress music as Spotify does. Yeah. Now I know that, again, talking from experience, and I do have to check these things. I know that listening to my music on YouTube Music is not as good as listening to it on Spotify. Because I know the last thing I did, Fragments, sounded a bit pony on YouTube Music. I was a bit disappointed with it. It sounded a little bit like that. If you are listening to this and not actually looking at it, I'm moving my hands inwards as if I'm squeezing. Is that right? Yeah. And I thought Spotify, it sounded better. I checked that out. And I thought it sounded better on Spotify. So, I don't know. Again, once you upload it, there's not a lot you can do about it. You don't actually have a lot of control of how it sounds on the final platform. You just upload it and hope it sounds okay. It's a bit scary. I think, again, the best place to hear it is on the Bandcamp page. That sounds like a proper thing. Andrew says, why are so many people anti-Apple? I don't know. I don't think I was anti-Apple. It's just Apple used to be very expensive. It still is expensive. And I remember, must have been the late 90s when they brought out. Do you remember the all-in-one iMac? Bondi Blue. We got one for the missus from PC World because she needed it for her work and she was doing some work at home, and so we did that. We had one of the drives that they had, the iAmega Super Drive or whatever it was, and it's all right. It was it's good for work. You know what I mean. And I like the design aesthetic of it. And when the iPod came along, I got one of those. I was very impressed. I've still got them. Still got them over there, and I was very impressed with the iPod. And then, of course, the iPhone came along, and I swapped from having oh God, I can't remember what it was now, some crappy Windows type phone, I think it was, to the iPhone, and I didn't need the iPod, and it had a camera and everything. It's like, so I've kind of fallen into the ecosystem, and it all kind of blends together. I mean, let me show you something. Let me show you this. I'm just take my other boot off because my feet are getting hot. I'm having my feet checked on Thursday. Oh yeah, I'm having my feet checked on Thursday. It's gonna be good. I'm gonna get a lady touch my feet. I normally have to pay for that kind of thing, but the NHS do it for free. And if I'm really good, she'll stick needles in my toes. Who wouldn't want to be me? Oh, I see. Oh, right. This is my iPhone. This is my iPhone. This is magic. Watch. Watch and be amazed, he says. Watch and be amazed. Come on, do the thing. Why aren't you doing the thing? That didn't work. It worked earlier. I'm trying to get continuity mode up. Where is continuity mode? It's here somewhere. Picture in here you go. Airplane continuity. Why aren't you doing it? I did have it set up for this. Huh. How very strange. Maybe I need to plug it in. Anyone? It was working. I used it today. Ignore the blank bits. That is so weird. Why won't it use continuity mode? Very strange. Very strange. Maybe I can. Is there something in here? Something in here? No, there isn't. How very strange. It was working, honest, because I used it to film a video this afternoon. But what you can do when it does work, I don't know why it won't work. Maybe I need to turn it off and on again. I'm going to try and do that. Right? I want to demonstrate. You can't even turn off the phone anymore. This is so boring. I'm boring myself. Shut down. Okay. Just turn it off. I think it got a bit confused. I'm worried it might be trying to connect to my iPad. But Andrew says Apple is good with viruses. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's all right. It'll be great when it works. Trust me. Oh, that's not good. That won't. Oh, it's come back on. It's just. It's a bit worrying. I never turn my phone off now. Just kind of keep it on. Maybe if I use a cable, maybe that would do it. I don't know. Sorry, it didn't work. It was great. It would have been great if it actually worked, but it didn't work. Let's try it again. I've tried it. Oh. Okay. Oh, that's gone a bit weird. Oh. Oh, it's all gone weird. That ain't right at all, is it? Look at that. It's like something really bad's happened. Oh, I don't like that. That's not good. That's better. Oh, there we go. We fixed it. Hey, see? And it just needed to be turned off and on again. And so you can just stream. Hours of fun for all the family. See, I can I need to redo the photo. I should do that. Look, I'm old now. Used to be my thumbnail. Look at that. That's definitely a picture, isn't it? But yeah, this is what you can do. Now, I was thinking of replacing my camera with an iPhone and just having it on the desk. And you can buy these gimbals that follow you around. So I can just go, you know, and it'd be better than just using what I have. And also, it makes my eyes look so fucking blue. I look so gorgeous. Look at me. Oh, get on the nose. Oh, I can really see the nose hairs. That's more like it. Ah, yeah, the one where you see the nose hairs. And as you can see, and that's what the dark side of the moon looks like. Look at that. Look. Oh, wow. Back of my head. And look, and there's me. That's what it looks like from my perspective when I'm talking to you. Look at that. Oh, God, there's a big spot. Oh, no, I didn't know there's a big spot there. God, that's just wrong, isn't it? And I'm just gonna do the rest of the live stream like this. This is the best. You just don't get content like this from anyone else, and that is the palm of my hand. There you go. Hours of fun for all the family. There you go. But that's what you can do with your phone. You can use this thing called continuity camera, which is kind of clever. I think it's clever. Verna says, that's why I don't like Apple. I'm just kidding. I like Apple myself and it's great. Indeed. And Andrew says, much better. Yeah, it just needs to turn the phone. It got a bit confused because I had another phone connected and it was, you know, but there's little point in having all this gear, you know, this camera. Mind you, the camera I can do that. So if anything's shocking, I can go. It's not as good though, is it? Extreme close up. It's not as good. Oh dear, I'm a bit thirsty. I'm a bit talked out. Oh man, I could do with a drink. Oh, it seems like ages ago I had a coffee. It was a whole hour ago. Who'd have thought it, eh? Also, we passed a milestone, everyone, or a millstone on the channel. Millstone or milestone? You discuss. 2 million views. That means 2 million poor sods have seen my beautiful face. That's a wonderful thing. Now I've nearly got 1 million on the other channel. So that'd be like, and if you add that to the 9 million plus, that's a lot, isn't it? That's a lot. You'd think the algorithm would love me with those kind of views. Doesn't. But yeah, well done everyone for watching. I want to say thank you for watching this gibberish. I couldn't have done it without you. Well, I could have done, but then no one would be watching. A bit like what it's like already. Nobody cares, Darren. Andrew says, I think it's time for a tea and a mince pie. Oh, okay. She's treating you well then. She's treating you well. That's very, very good. It's very, very good. We've got 17 people in. God, blimey, it's been a bit of a slow one tonight. You know, God, everyone's. I do think everyone's getting their Christmas list. Maybe putting up the decorations. Who knows? It's funny because there's 17 people in, but there's only like 4 people that regularly talk. It's like, you know, it's very difficult. You know, it's very difficult when you you let us hang like this. But anyway, it doesn't matter. We'll carry on. We'll carry on the best we can. How long have I got left? I don't know. How long has it been? Oh, God, I've got another 20 minutes. I'm never going to make it. Come on, guys. Give me a topic to talk about, please. Please. Andrew said, I saw Loughton on the way up. Okay. Alice says, how about views on Tidal? I don't know about Tidal. I haven't got a Tidal account. I know about Tidal. You're asking the wrong person. I haven't got a Tidal account. I've never logged in. I don't think I've ever logged in to Tidal. I say that, And then I'll go there and I've probably got an account and don't realise it. I'll have a look just because it's you. And also, it gets rid of some time, doesn't it? Tidal, login, manage account. Have I got a Tidal account? Well, bugger me sideways. It looks like I've got a Tidal account. I did not know that. Well, I'm in. No active subscription. Yeah, that sounds about right. Oh, excuse me. View plans. How much does it cost? I don't know. $10.99 a month. How much? Blimey. Mind you, I could get a trial for 60 days for £2. Yeah. I don't know. Is there a Tidal artist page? That's a good question. Tidal artist page. Ah, yes, there is. Let's just sign up. Oh, I'm there. Here I am. I'm in. Join Tidal Collabs. Just join Tidal Collabs. Okay. Create profile. I don't want to do that. Trends. Oh, here we go. We can peek behind the Tidal curtain. Right, let's have a look. Right, here we go. So here are some of the trends on my Tidal account. As you can see, the average listener is between 25 and 34. I did not know that, but 65 and 45 to 54, 16%. The young folk not interested. Top countries, Norway. Have we got any Norwegians in? Where's the Norwegian contingent? Have we got a Norwegian old faithful out there? Maybe we have. Maybe we have, and I just haven't realised it. And if you're from Norway and you're watching, thank you. That's really cool. 16% from the United Kingdom, 13% from America. Canada comes 9th. Denmark 6th. Chile, South America on the map. Poland, Germania, Switzerland, and the Mexicans. There we go. Top track, Song of the Reaper, a classic. Trumpster in at number 2. That's an odd one, Trumpster. Sea Shimmer, 1, 2, 3, 4, the remix, I believe, and Widow's Peak. There you go. So that's it. That's the. Now Trumpster's an interesting one because it's a song I did 2001-ish, and it's not about Donald Trump. Oh no, it's the trumpet patch. It was a guitar trumpet patch on the was it on the VG88 or something? And it made this charming little guitar trumpet thing. And I did this little instrumental. And I called it Trumpster because it sounded like a trumpet and a fart at the same time. And it had a life of its own. It was always been popular in Australia for some reason. And I was getting quite a bit of streaming cash from. When I say quite a lot, I mean like £1. I don't mean like, millions. I mean, I got £1 from Australia for streaming it, which is considerable in streaming terms. Again, you have to explain this because if you saw, well, I can show you. Why not? Let's pull the curtain aside. Why don't we just see how much money I make with this fucking folly that I've been involved in for the last 30 odd years? Well, with streaming, it's been 20 odd years, so whenever it's been, I don't know. But you can see, and we'll go into the sales and accounting of my CD Baby page. You're going to love this. I'm going to pull behind the curtain. And you can see what I've been paid recently. Come on. What we'll do is we'll make it 500. Here we go. And, whoops, wish it wouldn't do that. And here we go. You can see now. Miscellaneous vendor transaction, 47 cents in the zone. Apple Music Stream, 87 cents. Well, we'll have a look at that. Let's see the breakdown. It takes a bit of time. Wow, look at that. Look at this one. Improvisations 2 had 10 streams and it earned me 0.01750000 of a cent. God, that is just, they're spoiling me. You know that. You might need to like push your face close to the, but you can, these are the amounts we're talking about here. Look at that. Look at that. These are the amounts that we're talking about here. You want a Spotify? I don't think I even get money from Spotify anymore because they changed their rules, didn't they? No. Oh wait a minute, it's Tidal. Tidal. Come on, do your business. Oh, I just had one stream on Tidal, and I got 0.146 of a cent. It's not good, is it? Yeah, as you can see, it's yeah, my music career's pretty much failed. So, you know, what can you do? What can you do? However, Facebook's where it's at. In October, Facebook paid out. Oh yeah, I got a stunning $4.52 for. Now you're going to think that's amazing, but this goes back to 2022. See, look. So this goes all the way back to 2022, and it just goes on and 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 on. It's all over the place. Oh wow, that one got 0.00009 of a cent. Ah, Jesus, it's depressing. Don't look at it, Darren. Don't look at it. You just throw yourself under a lorry and be done with it. You know? And that's why when I give stuff away, you can see why. Because making money for me, anyway, because I'm limited in my talent and ability, is not the aim of this. The aim of this isn't to make money. The aim is to, I don't know, turn people onto certain things. I guess that's what the thing. I think that's what it is. Andrew says, can't see Holland. Dutch have let us down. And the French. And Portuguese. I thought the Portuguese would look after me. But there you go. So yeah, you got to peek behind the curtain there. Don't know how I feel about it now. Feel a bit glum. Yeah. Feel a bit depressed. You would, wouldn't you? I've got money from PayPal. La 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 la. Just looking at my Bandcamp earnings to PayPal. Ooh. Very quiet. It's gone very quiet out there. You're all in awe. at my musical endeavours, aren't you? Move over Taylor Swift, indeed. Swifties will have to stand back. Yeah. Beep beep. Everything's a text message to get into the account, isn't it? Oh, £7.75. Oh, those records are earning me a fortune. Wow, I'm going to transfer that to my bank account. Ooh. Why do I bother with any of this? Seriously. Why do I bother? I don't know. It's a bit of fun, isn't it? It's funny. The sweet sound of £7.75 going into my bank account. I wonder if that'll cover the cost of the kids' Christmas presents. Probably not. Ah well. It is what it is. You said. How long have I got left? Because I'm gagging for a drink. I might have to shut up shop soon because I'm drying out here. I'm drying out, everyone. Any more for any more? Or should we just call it quits now? What do you reckon? I think we can do that as a poll. We can actually. They've given polls. Look, we can start a poll. Should we call it quits now? There you go. Yes or no? Start poll. Wow, look at that. That's clever, isn't it? Someone voted no. Oh, that's no good. That's no bloody good, is it? How do I get that on the screen? Can this pop out? No. Oh, that's rubbish. Right, what we can do is we can do that, and then look, there we go. It's now biting. We've got 2 votes, and both of them voted no. Come on, guys. Press the wrong button. Getting late. I hear you. I hear you. Three votes. Oh, great. You'll have me here all night, you sods. You big sods. I could just sit and whistle for 8 minutes. I'm dry. Oh. Renault says, if you look at my payment, am I paying through Patreon, YouTube, Bandcamp? I don't know anymore. Oh yeah, no, I will put them on Patreon. Good point, that. I will upload the albums to Patreon. I tend to forget the Patreon people because there's only about 3 people that do that now because everyone, during the pandemic, people drifted away, and that's understandable. But yeah, I tend to forget that. So bear with me. I will put them on the Patreon. Oops. Maybe I should just close it down. Maybe should I hold another poll? Should I close down the Patreon? Because again, I think people that kind of fell out of favour as well. But then I don't really do much with it. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with it. I wish I knew. I wish I knew what to do with it. I'm not very good at that. The one where it's time for bed? No, it's not time for bed yet. My God, the night is young. Might be hitting the hay for probably another 3 hours. You don't get these good looks by going to bed early. Well, we lost 5 people, so we're down to 10. I think everyone's given up. So I think even though the poll doesn't want it to stop, they want the party to continue. I think we're going to have to end the poll there. There we go. We've ended the poll. Thank you. And I completely got beaten by the public there. Any plans for tomorrow? No. Get up, see the kids off to school, take the dog for a walk, come home, have a coffee, eat a protein bar, try and figure out something to do until lunch, have lunch, bacon sandwich, take the dog for a walk, come back, wait for the kids to come home, talk to the kids about their day, have a cup of tea, find something to do until dinner time, cook dinner, have dinner, probably watch I'm a Celebrity maybe. I guess it's Wednesday. Yeah, watch that. Take a dog for a walk, come back, have a coffee, and then rinse and repeat. It's like being trapped in purgatory, basically. Every day is the same. Like Wednesday, bacon sandwich day. That's how I know it's Wednesday. And Andrew's off. He says night night. So yeah, there's no plans. Again, I sit at the computer and try and figure out how I'm going to take over the world, but I haven't figured out any. I haven't worked anything out yet. I don't know. I don't know what's left to do really. What is left to do? I don't know. Anyway, this wasn't the life I'd envisaged for myself, but there you go. It never is it? It never is. But anyway, I am going to go now because I really need to get a drink. And we'll do this all again soon. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you haven't, and yeah, that's it. Remember, if you can't be good, be safe. But more importantly, don't tell your mother. Night night.